What the heck is happening here?
It's overwhelming for me because, like I said, when my dad passed away, I helped my sister with the funeral.
Let's at least work under the assumption that we're at $3,000 and that we want to do whatever we can to pay him more than that. If they're not here, that's just a little frustrating for us because that was a big part of us coming. All right, so yesterday we left Atlanta afternoon, spent the whole day with Jeff Wilson, and we stayed in Greenville last night. Incredible little city. Halfway between where we're going, we're actually trying to figure out where we're going today because there's been a little switch in plans last minute. Before we do any of that, we are finding the best coffee we possibly can. And Reed has identified Methodical Coffee as the place. So that's what we're gonna go do.
Hey, Ty, how's it Methodical?
That is maybe the best coffee I've ever had in my life. We're excited because today we have a collection that we've been working on for months. We actually had a pretty popular buyer of ours reach out and say, hey, I want to help facilitate this particular collection for you. A gentleman's dad died. So we've been working on it. We're heading to Nebo, North Carolina, where we think we're supposed to go. But over the last 24 hours, there's been some interesting developments with text messages. So we're trying to iron things out. We're gonna head there anyway. Let's go see the collection.
What's happening, Ty?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, so we're gonna be there probably around 11:30-ish.
Okay, we were going to guess around noon.
Yeah, noon at the latest. FYI, we're not gonna grab a trailer or U-Haul or anything until we see the collection.
Okay.
So just to confirm, we're not going to Dad's house now. We're going to Uncle's house.
We're going to his uncle's house, yes.
They're about an hour from each other.
Probably a half hour to 45 minutes. So it's just going to be to his uncle's house. That's all.
Got it. Okay.
That's where everything's at.
Perfect. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
We'll see you, Ty.
Talk to you
Be
soon.
careful.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so there you go. So last minute change, we kind of booked our whole itinerary around going to Nebo, but they texted and said we're going to Fairview now, which is sounds like about a half hour away. Not going to the dad's house, the dad that passed away. We're going to the uncle's house where they moved the cards to.
Well, there you have it. The location change actually saves us an hour of driving. So we have time to kill, and we know what that means. Time to find the nearest sports card shop. Meet Catch 'em All Cards.
About 4 years ago, I bought a jersey, and it was a
Autographed Dennis Rodman.
autographed Dennis Rodman.
What?
Yes, and I love sports back in the 80s and 90s, so we sold that jersey, and we're like, hey, let's buy 2 jerseys. So we bought 2, then went to 3 or 4, then we did some online stuff, some small. And then we went to the flea market, just the lowest end flea market you can think of.
Yeah.
Started doing well there, went to another flea market, and we started to hear about shows, started doing shows. And we just did autographed memorabilia, that was it. And about 2 years ago, we had a bad show with our sports memorabilia, and the guy was like, hey, why don't you try Pokemon? I was like, yeah, whatever. And so I bought a binder of Pokemon, and 2 years of Pokemon, and now that's one of our best sellers. And in the mix about 2 years ago, that was about 3 years ago, Pokemon. 2 years ago, we got into sports. But I tell everybody the easiest way to learn is Pokemon and then go into sports, because when you go to sports to Pokemon, it kind of confuses.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's good advice.
These are damaged. I mean, they're still,
Because they were played.
yeah, they got creases right here.
Yeah.
This one has creases all around it. But they're such rare cards that people don't care how much damage they have, they'll still take them.
These, the Entei and the what?
Regidrago, but they're gold stars.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now that's what makes them so rare. And this is the era of Pokemon was not so hot. People were like, yeah, we're not into it, and then all these rare cards starting to come out, and no one pulled them. So now people are like, hey, these cards are so rare, they want them. something a little different and this is all my wife, this is nothing with me. So when we order the boxes from distributors, she actually does all the research on the boxes to make sure that when you're buying the box, you're not getting their old redemption cards.
On the older boxes.
On
Because
the
there's
older
a
boxes.
2018 baseball box I want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest card is an Otani rookie auto. Well, it's a redemption.
Yep.
And I'd hate for somebody to pay that much for that box.
Totally.
That redemption, and then it's expired and they
Top
can't
said,
get
hey,
it.
we don't have that.
Yeah, totally.
All right, Pokemon lovers, this is your time. Tell us what you love and what we should be looking for in this shop.
How long have you had the shop? 4 years, you said? Ish? Well, you got into it 4 years ago.
Location, a little over 4 months.
Oh, this is brand new.
Yeah, we're new.
Dang, guys, that's awesome. Good for you. Well, I'll take that. And then, Matt, Obsidian?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
That's 23?
It's 20,
No, that's 22,
22?
23.
23. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Where can folks find you? Greenville, South Carolina?
Greenville, South Carolina. We're going to be the largest Pokemon sports store here.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Catch 'em all, sports cards, and Pokemon cards. Coming through Greenville, South Carolina. Check these guys out.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff, man. Good to meet you. Thanks for letting us pop in.
Thank you.
What a cool experience. We bought a good box of cards, and we tried to get a Pokemon deal, but my son is a super tough negotiator. But I love what they're doing. 4 months in. Go check them out if you're coming through Greenville. Catch 'em all sports cards. Hey, what's up, guys? We are super stoked to release a project we've been working on for the last 6 months called uncommonreseller.com. For many of you that know me, I left the corporate world 2 years ago to pursue this dream of reselling full-time. And it's something that has been game-changing for me and my family. And we want to teach you the things that we've learned throughout the process, things that people have taught us or that we've learned the hard way. And Uncommon Reseller is focused exclusively on that. We've designed a professional course to help you with the psychology of reselling. We've also put effort into designing an eBay analytics course to help you break down the really advanced things that people get confused by. So go to uncommonreseller.com. Link is in the upper right-hand corner or in the show notes below. And join us in the community and elevate your reselling game. See you there.
How are you, Ty? I'm Ken.
Good to finally meet you.
Good to meet you too.
You must be the guy.
Yep. How you doing, sir?
Kevin, good to see you, man. What the heck is happening here?
Sorting.
Yeah, was my dad's collection, and he had a great time collecting, so he passed in August 7th, 2023 of leukemia real bad. And basically this is
everything he collected.
everything he collected.
Okay, so first impressions are, I'm impressed. I'm impressed that you got Ken and you got Kevin out there. They spent 24 hours basically doing work, getting cards out for us to make life easy. So I appreciate that, but there's a lot here. There's a lot here. All of it's right here, or is there more?
There's one small building over here and here. This is all, and it's all up, and all this is his.
So did you because we talked a little bit the last few hours, it moved over here from your dad's house.
From my dad's house. He was from like this is the Jerry Rice era 1986 top footballs.
Okay.
He had 70s, 60s, 50s, and we have vintage and everything else all out in here too. So we have like a vintage box for you to go through. He had jerseys, autographs, autograph balls. He had everything imaginable.
Okay.
So what my dad's story was, okay, when he was small and everything else, he had a disability. I inherited, so it was inherited down to my dad's side of the family. So I was in special needs when I was a kid and everything else. So I learned my card collection from Daddy. That's where I learned and everything else. So he was the vintage guy. I was more the modern guy.
Okay.
So he was more like Mickey Mantle's, Robert Clemente's, all that. He loved this to the end of his day because he was collecting.
And it's scattered all
It's
across.
gathered.
So we don't know. We're just gonna have to dig through stuff. Is that what I'm hearing?
Right.
Okay.
Because me and him basically has a couple of boxes of like vintage stuff we found per se yesterday, Kim, we found what?
It's like he would look at something, get it, buy it, and put it all together. So if you're looking through something, you think, that's nothing but junk. Don't think that. My part in all this is connecting Kevin with you guys.
I've been trying to find one box in particular. It has some 1920s, like the big cards and everything. It has there was a Babe Ruth and everything else, and I seen it on Beck. It was a Beckett, like 6 or 7 go for $3,000. So if I find that one Pacific card, I know it's worth
the time.
Worth the time.
Worth the time. Okay. So immediate concern walking in would be condition. You know, you hear vintage and you look at modern, you see all the, the wide range of years, but you see them thrown in without penny sleeves or top loaders. And unfortunately, in the hobby that we live in, if the condition's not good, the value's not good. But that's nothing on Kevin. That's really not his fault at all. But that is the reality of what we're looking at.
Daddy worked hard for what he believed in and everything else. And I tell this story every single time, and it's true. Daddy worked 2 to 3 jobs to keep our family afloat. So that's what Daddy did. So in his spare time, this is basically what he did. The best card Daddy ever had was we had a turkey red of Babe Ruth and everything else, and he sold that one for a lot. So
3 months ago, Kevin reached out and said some of the best cards, Babe Ruth, Mantle, T206, some older things were pulled out and set inside this good box for his dad. Those are the things that got us really attracted to coming out here today.
My mom has diabetes. So he used to sell the higher end cards to keep my mom's insulin going. Because every 2 weeks was $500 or $600 every 2 weeks. And I was working 2 jobs, Daddy was working 2 jobs, and we were barely making it by. My uncle moved this thing to clean the house out. Daddy passed this collection on to me, and I want to make sure it goes on and flourishes more. Whoever, wants to buy it and everything else. This is like, to me, this is my legacy now.
If you were to define kind of your dad's collecting style, I mean, I've spent 2 minutes here, and I'm already like, okay, he's all over the place.
He
what
is
would
all
you
over.
say is his collecting style?
He just liked to collect the way he liked to collect, because he loved like jerseys, autographs. He loved that kind of stuff. He loved more, because when I was growing up, he was more vintage.
Okay.
So he was more a vintage type of guy. So he had, the best card I remember he had was a 1954 Bowman Mickey Mantle.
Okay.
And he bought it off a guy. He used to buy so many like vintage cards that he grew up loving and everything else. So that's how he learned how to read, was, the stats and everything.
Really?
That's like, yes. So the story goes is my dad, the teacher always told Daddy, hey, bring your card collection in. We'll show you how to, read and everything else, Ricky. So Daddy learned how to, read the stats and all of the players' names and stuff like that. That was his love. That was his like passion.
That's really cool.
He would give, per se, like binders of cards away to kids and the future generation and everything else. That's what Daddy did. Daddy was just one of the kindest people you want to meet in your life. That was Daddy's style. Daddy was just a caring type of person that would give his shirt off his back. That's the way Daddy was. Daddy was just a considerate person and loving person. That's how Daddy operated for everybody.
He collected until he passed away.
Correct.
Because, I mean, there's some 2020,
20s,
21,
yes.
22.
Correct, because he was basically collecting and taking care of my mom that had Alzheimer's.
Okay.
And he was just the most loving person you want to meet in your life, because he would just take care of basically everybody in the family. That was my dad's.
Okay.
Now it's my job now to, help my mom out, because he didn't have enough time to, the money's going toward my mom's funeral costs. This is what this collection's for.
So you're selling this to pay for
my mom's funeral costs, because my dad passed away before he could set up
Okay.
funds. She's still with us. Some days are good, some days are bad.
Is she close to here?
Yeah, she lives, she's like in a rest home in Nebo and everything else. We went to see her Wednesday.
Okay.
So she knows what's happening still somewhat, but she don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
He raised, me to be a strong young man that I am today because, I was I was in special ed when I was a kid. And people told me I was worth nothing. And all my dad said, you can always do, son. Never say never. So I went through high school and I got my high school diploma in 13 years perfect attendance. That's because my dad's hard work with me, because he understand where I was coming from, because he had disabilities too, because he always strove me to be better than I am today. That's the way he was, just that way. Daddy was just the best. I mean, one of the best guys you would probably be around, because if he had, you had any questions about Daddy and everything else, he would just tell you the truth like I was. Me and him are the same way. It's overwhelming for me because, like I said, when my dad passed away, I helped my sister with the funeral. And I was trying to look through, like per se, one box had a signed ball of Bryce Harper rookie card auto. It was a ball and everything else. Mm-hmm. So it's and we had a Herman Killebrew autograph numbered card that was signed by Herman Killebrew. So I was there's no telling what somebody might find that's worth something to somebody.
Okay. Do you want to walk us up to the other? I want to get a perspective here.
It's right up the hill. We were at a neighbor's house one day and everything else, and Daddy said he was stupid. And the neighbor told Daddy, he said, Ricky, how can you be stupid? You raised 2 kids and you went on and got a house for yourself, car for yourself, a job and everything else, and you collected all this stuff saying you're stupid, you're not stupid, you're just graceful. That was it. Dave was graceful. He wouldn't, he would go out his way to any neighbors and everything else in Nebo and everything else, anywhere and stuff. Anybody that knew Ricky J. Club knew he was, top notch. That was Daddy to the T.
Did he open a lot of packs and stuff, or no?
He went, like I said, Ty, he went everywhere. He went to South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, all over the place to get cards.
You mentioned the good stuff.
Mm-hmm, because it would say good stuff on the boxes, basically. That's basically what I could say.
Did anybody else take cards from this collection?
Nope.
Or is it all?
Nope, it's all here. Every bit of it.
Okay.
Every darn bit of it.
Here's what I think we do. Let me spend a few minutes going through a couple things, getting an idea of what we got. And then, what are you asking for everything? What are you thinking?
If everything works out and everything else, I'll let you have it. This is for the family and everything else.
3,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just for the family.
So $3,000. That's very doable. I was expecting a lot more than that. So my goal now is, let's at least work under the assumption that we're at $3,000 and that we want to do whatever we can to pay him more than that. We'll work under the assumption that the minimum I'm going to pay you is $3,000. I would like to pay you more than that. So I'm going to spend the next half hour just finding a way to justify giving you more money. What do you need for the funeral? What's your funeral going to cost?
Because we talked to the funeral director and everything else, because the cheapest we could get is like $5. Okay. But I mean, we can raise the other 2. No, fits this. We can raise the other 2. I'm helping my uncle out because he did so much for my dad. We used to work with Uncle Terry many, many years ago, and he helped me and my dad when we were at our lowest.
Okay. That's
what I want for my family, because my dad and uncle and everything else, my family means the world to me. That's what it's about.
Okay, well, I'll work with kind of that in mind, and we'll need a little time here. We're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna get this out of here. Anything else you need to show us, or is this what we got?
This is what we got.
Okay.
And like I said, try to find that one box, because Terry said that he had a couple of like the older vintage in his house still too. So
Okay.
so he's still, like I said, there's still a lot to process.
Yeah, I can imagine what you're going through, man. Maybe there's something behind the scenes. Maybe there's a family dynamic that we don't know about, and maybe the cards are somewhere else. I hope that's the situation. Well, we'll see if we can make it easy on you today.
Yep.
So, all right, well, let me start digging through some stuff, and I'll see
Yep.
what work you guys have done already.
One of the sneakier cards we found in recent collections came from episode 28 in Tennessee. We found this 2002 Topps Pristine Tom Brady refractor in one of those boxes. 2002 Topps Pristine was unique because the packs had 3 more packs inside, and one of them came with a guaranteed numbered refractor in it. Tom Brady happened to be one of the more short printed players on that checklist. This Tom Brady refractor is numbered to 349, and after we found it, we immediately sent it off to SGC to get graded. Any guesses on the grade? Well, a few weeks later, we got ourselves a beautiful SGC 9.5 Mint Plus Tom Brady. It looks spectacular in the SGC tuxedo. This card, along with hundreds of other graded cards, can be found in our Chasing Cardboard eBay store. The link to the store is in the upper right-hand corner. Back to the show.
All right, so we're gonna get a I think it's like a 6x10 trailer.
Right.
Whatever we can't fit, I'm gonna keep a stack here for you to do whatever you want with.
Right.
If you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Because I can't get a bigger trailer than that today.
Because I was going to say, whatever you didn't take, I was going to tell you this too. We were going to donate anyway for the family anyway.
Okay,
So
we'll do that.
that's
That'll be a tax
beautiful.
write-off. It'll be good for you anyway.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
All right, we're on the same page.
We're all on the same page.
Okay.
We decided to just go for it. Reed is rushing 25 miles away to get a U-Haul in time, and I'm focused on finding enough good cards to justify giving Ricky $5,000.
So right now, man, I'm not finding much, unfortunately. The problem is you open some of these and yeah, you get some relics, you get some old school autos, nothing of big names, but you get most of this stuff that's just been thrown in a tote. And its condition is not outstanding, that's for sure. Okay, so these, a lot of this, 90s, I'll give it to you. That's probably stinging, or I'm assuming it's all about the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm searching, I really want to make this sweet for them, but it ain't looking good right now, that is for sure. So the big concern now is that we're just not seeing any big names. You know, we've heard that a lot of the big names, the Hank Aarons, the Mazes, the Raleigh Fingers, all those guys that we just expect to pull out in these eras, they're not there. Even the 90s stuff doesn't have the Jordans, doesn't have the Kobes, doesn't have the guys that we really need to be in here for it to make sense for us. It is. Man, your uncle did some work up here. Mm-hmm. So Kevin, where do you think your dad put all the...
Because Terry has
big
some
names
in his house
Oh,
too.
Mm-hmm. In the house too?
Mm-hmm.
Just a few cards that I got on eBay for Krista.
Yeah, for Krista.
The names are pulled out of here.
No, not every but thing.
I mean, we came under the assumption that there were certain cards here, especially the ones that you thought.
I thought
the
they
good
was
stuff.
here, yeah. Because I'd not messed with anything.
What do you think we do then? Because if they're not here, that's just a little frustrating for us, because that was a big part of us coming. Do you think for sure they're here, or do you
I'm
think
for sure they're here.
You think we'll find them today? What should we specifically be looking for? What would be helpful? Is it a box with like?
Because it would say good stuff on it, on top.
Okay.
It's a shoebox.
Okay. Think this might be the one? And
No, it's not. It's not. That's what I said.
he was feeling it.
I was feeling it.
But it might be in that box.
It might be what I said. Yeah, because there's some 60s and stuff in here.
Here, I'll tell you what, let's just pull some of this out.
Well, at least they kept these in good condition.
Because that's modern.
Oh yeah, it's ultra modern. Well, it was nice seeing you excited there for a sec.
Yeah, no. I'm telling you, he's got it. It's more modern. I thought that was going to be the one. You looked at that one down there, right?
Yeah, it was just random junkaroo.
Man, I just love Kevin. I love his heart. I love his attitude. He's trying so hard to find value for us. You can tell he loves his dad with everything he has. And man, I want to do whatever we can right now to make him feel like we're here for him.
I mean, it's crazy, even like this stuff where we know the rookies in here. Like there's Josh Allen this year. There's the wrong Josh Allen. So I think your dad was a savvy collector. I think he knew what he was doing. Which is, you don't spend this much money without learning how to do something. All right, well, one more buckaroo. Let's see here. Remember Jordan's number?
23.
41. Would have been right there. Gone.
Okay, so we are 3 hours in. I want to take care of the family. I feel for them, but definitely in that moment we're feeling a little misled because there was a box there that we came to look at, and we're just finding a lot of stuff that we just don't really want, but we're willing to sacrifice and kind of make it work. We just want a solution to see some good stuff that hasn't been picked through to make it worth our long trip. So I'm hoping in this shed, this last shed over here, we can find some of that and be good before we make the drive. You know, the other thing that's interesting to me is like a lot of these boxes, they have like $25 whole box written on it. Like he was selling that or buying just a bunch of commons. And when you open them up, you realize, well, it's just a bunch of commons. But, you know, Kevin came up to me over, on the side over there and just was super apologetic. Felt really bad for this. Just said I didn't know what was happening here. So I'm at a point now where I've kind of lost hope that we're going to find this magical box. But for the sake of Kevin, I hope he finds that box because you can tell it means so much to him, much more than it means to us.
Well, it's $91.
So here we go. Let's see if we can find a Kobe in here. No Kobe there. You can see some cars pulled out. No Kobe. No Kobe.
While we were digging through the upper shed, Kevin's uncle made a few phone calls. And he found a couple gentlemen that were interested in the stuff that we didn't want.
What's up, guys? I think the boys picked through all that. I'm Ty.
Justin, man.
Justin, good to meet you.
Y'all from Asheville?
No, I'm from Idaho. We go around the United States buying collections and stuff. That's actually why we're here.
Oh, yeah, he's got a card shop in
Yeah, I got a
Fletcher.
card shop in Fletcher. Ricky, whose stuff this is, he used to come by there every, at least twice a week.
Seriously?
Yeah. So you might get a bunch of stuff.
So, how interested are you in all this? So here's has they told you what's been done?
Yeah.
It's great card shop stuff, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just boxes and boxes of autos and relics.
So, yeah, I know he loved them. Can I look at some of it?
Dude, totally, go. So my big hesitations for the numbers on this one is that this type of inventory, there's a lot of incurred costs that we have to factor in. This is inventory that's going to take a long time to sell. It's low dollar, high volume, spread it out over 6 to 9 to 12 months to get your money back. And when the card shop guys popped in here, I thought it makes a lot more sense for them because they're here. They don't have to factor in a U-Haul, 12 more hours of driving, flights back. They can make their money quicker and they can do a better job of moving it in a way that we can't do. His dad died.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know that.
Yeah, I mean, I knew him well.
Okay.
He knew him.
Yeah.
He knew Daddy.
If you want to buy it all, take it. If you're starting a shop and you need it,
I definitely do.
Yeah. If it makes more sense for him to take it all, it's totally fine with me.
Because I told him like this right here, she's going to take that and.
Yeah, I mean this is probably the best of the best right here, and then there's a lot of vintage and vintage mixed in, which is again for you, it's probably outstanding stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, we won't keep loading. If you want to look at it for a little bit and you decide, hey, it's better for our store, then
Well, I mean, I need inventory.
yeah. So there's a little bit more up there that we're just kind of like pulling out and stuff, but
Well, I don't know what the kind of price y'all were talking.
it's up to you because we were kind of going back and forth on
Because I
stuff.
told him the stuff that was here, 300 is really good for that.
Yeah.
But like I said,
So we were going to pay $5,000 for everything.
for everything.
For everything in here and everything up there. So if you wanted it for $5,000, like take it. Because
I'd have to.
so dig through it. Let me go finish up here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
dig through it, and now I'm really trying to do Kevin a favor because I think it'd be better if someone local took it. Honestly, I don't know what to say at this point. Outside, let's just try to help the family and let folks see. Sometimes things don't always go as you plan. That's for sure. But here are the chickens. So these guys are deciding on if they want to take it instead, as long as you're comfortable with it. Like,
Yeah, because I mean, if they don't, just per saying, they don't and everything else. Because I told them that deal. I rather, that's what I'm saying. Both parties to
yeah, we're good.
be good with it.
So I mean, sell it to them for $3,000 or whatever you want to do.
All right.
Do what you got to do. Like, I think that's a better fit for the cards. Mm-hmm. We were trying to get to 5,000. That was our number. Like, let's get you to 5,000. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't found much since we've been here. It's been a lot of like small stuff. So 3 is a really fair offer.
For 3.
Okay. You take it for
If you're
3.
cool with that.
Yeah, I'm good.
You take the 3, and we'll help you load up if you want. Or you don't have a lot of space.
I got to go get the trailer and stuff.
Okay. We'll pull
You
this
guys
out.
can go ahead and go. I mean,
Yeah, we'll pull it out and we'll let you load up and
There
got
you go.
yourself a deal.
Good deal.
That'll work.
Very good. Thank you.
I came down, I live in Virginia. Came down, made a new friend, made some new friends. Witnessed something that I would not have expected today. We go through all this, we load it in the trailer, and we just unloaded it for somebody else to come get. It's amazing, but the big thing is being able to help somebody.
Yes.
Okay, so we go into these situations never knowing how they're going to pan out. And this one had a lot of moving parts, kind of all happening at one time. And, we wake up in the morning and we prepare for these and we pray that these things would work out in a way that sometimes supersedes us. And I felt like towards the end there, that's the way it was working out. It just felt right to sell that collection to the card shop, to those guys who had done so much business with Ricky over the years. They knew exactly what was there. They had stories to tell. And even though the price was equal for both of us, we just all felt like it just made more sense to make it work for them. Regardless of how it all panned out, we were gonna make sure Kevin was taken care of today, and he was, and he's happy. And that's what's important to us when all this kind of settles at the end of the day. So this is the first. This is the first in so many ways for what we do, and it's gonna set the tone for the next collection we're going to see tomorrow in Kentucky. So hang along for the ride. Let's go see what's up in Kentucky.
Yes.
Loaded and unloaded in the same day, in the same spot.
Sometimes you get caught in situations that don't seem to have a good possible outcome. We thought our situation in North Carolina was headed for total disappointment. But yet, this was another example of us simply being amazed at how our expected outcome is not always the perfect outcome. Keep chasing.